It's not often that a Kickstarter that doesn't meet funding turns itself around to become a full-fledged game. However, after Lince Works' Twin Souls met that fate, their team buckled down and continued to create their love story to stealth, and this week their vision was shared with the PlayStation 4 and PC. This is the Bombchu review for Aragami. Aragami is set in a mystical version of feudal Japan where the nations of light, Kaiho, and the nation of shadow, Nishiko, continue to wage war. The protagonist is brought to life by the mysterious Yamiko, who is quick to explain that he is an Aragami, a shadow with only one purpose. She reveals that the figure he sees before him is just an astral projection of herself, and her real body lies waiting within a temple guarded by Kaiho's forces. The newborn hero is tasked to collect 6 talismans that will free her from her prison and kill any and everything that stands in his way. The genre is all but saturated, however, Aragami takes us back to when stealth was synonymous with difficulty. The basic mechanics play more like Tenchu than Metal Gear or Assassin's Creed, as one misstep can mean the difference between clearing an area or restarting the whole thing. To emphasize this stance, Aragami is not even capable of any melee attacks that are not stealth kills. What this means is you can't just alert every guard and fight your way through guns blazing. As with any game similar to this, shadows play a huge part of the game, and becoming comfortable with them is necessary for survival. When in shadow, you are completely hidden unless the guard looks directly at you. This triggers a cautious approach, which will later turn into an alert if you're found. As an Aragami, you're born of shadow, and this is where the game really begins to separate itself from the pack. At the beginning of the game, you're introduced to 2 key abilities, Shadow Leap and Shadow Creation. Shadow Leap allows Aragami to jump from one shadow to the next within a certain range. This is a perfect technique for getting up to where an archer may be, or closing the gap on an unsuspecting guard during his route. It takes a while to master completely, but becomes the most valuable tool in your toolkit. Shadow Creation goes hand in hand with Shadow Leap as it creates a small patch of darkness where you aim. This makes for some rather unique and interesting situations that gave us the feeling of truly being one with the shadows. There are multitudes of other shadow techniques that can be unlocked by gathering scrolls scattered throughout each level. Each level outside of the last has about 6 scrolls, meaning you can upgrade each ability to its max by the end of the game. Although we didn't do this, each technique feels significantly powerful and can be easily combined with others for surprising effects. Aragami presents itself as a drawn world full of character and Eastern influences. What really impressed us was the attention to detail they used to remove the HUD from the game for the most part. Aragami's cape changes color if you are completely hidden or exposed to light. In addition, it shows you how much shadow essence you have remaining, charges you have for each shadow technique, and even what technique is currently equipped. It was a smart choice to remove clutter from the screen and have you focus on finding the guards. Speaking of which, the guards on the other hand are often very hard to find, especially early on. The color palettes often match the scenery with dull browns and lantern-colored pants. This is alleviated later in the game with an ability that lets you discover them through walls or mark them. But until you get the power-up, it's like playing Where's Waldo every time you enter a level. The design of the areas themselves have multiple paths winding through each and every zone. Often you can take a high road to reach the objective or mix it up with the guards by taking the lower path. The choice of either approach gives the game more depth, but may have also led to some of the graphical issues and bugs that are overlooked. On one mission in particular, we found ourselves able to clip through a mountain and shortly afterwards falling through the world itself. On a mission further in the story, we also began encountering some crazy AI who couldn't seem to correct their pathing no matter how long they looped for. Archers also seem to have a slight issue as they are able to spot you from miles away with their backs turned, and even if you're in shadow. There are a few other quirky things involving mission markers not displaying correctly, some enemies refusing to get backstabbed, and even respawning in an area we weren't even close to. For a game that spent so much time on polishing their visuals, UI, and overall game feel, it's a little disappointing to have the experience dragged down by this modest group of glitches. In Lince Works' defense, these were the only real grievances we were able to find. The experience as a whole is exhilarating, with a story that actually goes somewhere and keeps the player intrigued as well as gameplay that any stealth fan can appreciate. Aragami has proven to be one of the most ambitious comeback indie game stories of the year, and the developers have created a great first step in the right direction. With a few patches and player feedback, Aragami can go beyond a stealth game with a gimmick and become the best in its class. It's for these reasons we give Aragami a resounding 10.